In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best mechanics that you need to learn and master for 2025. This video is mainly for casual players who are looking to get better, but feel free to skip around to whatever section matches your skill level. The first mechanic is one of many fundamentals in Fortnite, which is the Mongrel Classic. This is by far the easiest mechanic that works on your crosshair placement and your edit timing. So if you're either new on keyboard or you're just switching binds, then this is the easiest thing that you can do to practice those things. Another great way to work on your crosshair placement is by doing the stairs sideways, and here's what that looks like in slow motion. This next move is very similar to the Mongrel Classic, but you can also use this with tunneling and your free builds. This next drill works on the exact same thing as the Mongrel Classic, just working on your crosshair placement and your edit timing. And you should also do this on the right side. The next drill is doing wall resets and moving your mouse back to the center. Using scroll wheel reset is important for editing, and it's also important when it comes to fights. But you definitely already knew that, so let's talk about something that most people don't know. After learning how to use scroll wheel reset, then you should learn how to do this. When you place a wall and you edit it and there's someone behind the wall, you can quickly edit the cone in your box, and if they shoot the cone, then that means the cone will break and you will have time to shoot them back, where they can't shoot you because they just shot the cone. The next fundamental thing that you need to learn for Fortnite is learning how to full box. And when you full box, you want to make sure that you're behind a right hand peak and you're dragging your cone so that you place it before the wall. Then you can start to do different variations of what kind of wall edit you want to do. Moving on to movement builds, the first one we have are classic 90s. I don't think I need to explain what 90s are, you guys already know that, but now we're talking about sprint 90s, and you can do this if you have a good sprint bind like left control, which is what I use, or left shift, or any number key. This is the first move of something called sprint building, which is just sprinting while building just to get height faster. Speaking of getting height faster, this is called a crossover, aka clicks 90. This ramp push is the fastest way to get height in Fortnite as of chapter 6, and you can do this going to the right or going to the left like this. The next move you need to learn is something called the Thwifa cone, and you can do this when you're trying to get height and you want to do it defensively. All you need to do is drag 3 walls and then place a cone on top. The final 2 fundamental things you need to learn for Fortnite are double edits and triple edits. You can check out a tutorial after this video. Moving on to the intermediate section, these are reverse triple edits. A good way to throw off your opponent. This is how it looks in slow motion. The next move we have are diagonal tunnels, and you can do this in your free build or just to get your hands working. If you can't seem to do these consistently, then you can start to do them on like 0.70 speed, and you can easily learn how to do them in no time. And you can also do these with stairs. The next move we have are side jumps, and these are pretty easy if you can get them down consistently. And you're going to be using these a lot in your game, so make sure you learn how to master it. And this is how to do a protected side jump. Here's what that looks like in slow motion. The next move you need to know is something called a side jump high wall. Basically what it does is that it blocks your opponent off from the other side with the 2 extra walls on top. This next move I don't really have a name for, but it's kind of like 90s. And I actually use this pretty frequently in game. The next move that you need to learn is the edit down. For in-game scenarios, you want to edit the stair to the right to block out their view, but for free builds and stuff like that, you don't need to do that. But before we move on to the advanced section, I want you guys to check out Destiny's Fortnite Masterclass. It's going to help you guys become better, and you can use code Mystics for $5 off. Link in description, check it out. Starting off the advanced section, we have quad edits and infinite quad edits. This is the next step after triple edits, and you don't really need to do this in game, but you can do this in your free builds or your warm up just to get better. And here's what this looks like in slow motion. The next move is an infinite edit down, and you can do this to the side like what I'm doing, or you can just do this with a regular ramp going straight. Now we're moving on to a combination of moves, and this first move is a triple edit into a reverse cone edit, into a tunnel edit, into a full box. It might seem like a lot, but this is a great move that you can add to your free builds to make it look kind of flashy, but it's also easy at the same time. And it's also a great way to practice your edit timing and your crosshair placement. This next one is more of a drill, but it's basically doing a double edit into a side jump into a full box. And doing this until you reach max height is a great drill to work on your in-game speed and learning how to consistently side jump. The next move is a 90 into a high wall into a full box. Here's what this looks like in slow motion, and this is a great move to use in-game that's very safe and protected, and that can help you get kills easily. Next we have a simple high wall side jump variation into a full box. And here's what this looks like in slow motion. And the final move in the advanced category is something that you can add to your free build. This is fairly simple and short, but feel free to add this to your free build if you want to. And here's what this looks like in slow motion. If you're struggling to do any of these moves, then what's going to help is that if you go into 70% speed and you do these moves in slow motion, then you're going to learn the edit timing and the crosshair placement of these moves so that you can do these easily when you use normal speed. This is the best way to learn moves that you're trying to master if you just switch binds or you're a beginner, because if you do this for like 10 minutes a day, you'll see improvement in no time. The next best way to learn certain moves is by going into 120 or 130% speed, because this forces you to have good crosshair placement if you actually want to complete the edit. And obviously it's okay to mess up. To work on your edit timing, you can go to the edit section in Mechanics Training V5, go over to the edit tiles, and start doing these with the goal of not seeing gray whenever you edit. This is probably the first thing you want to do if you're trying to switch from edit on release off to on or the other way. Then you can come over here, which is the same thing as the other one, except you're going up, and this is going to work on your double edits, the triple edits, you know, all those stuff. And you don't have to be fast with it. You want to be consistent where you're actually learning the edit timing and not just doing the edit just to do it, if you know what I mean. To work on your crosshair placement, you can come over here, and this wall basically teleports you every single time to a different spot that makes it harder to edit from an angle. This is the best way to learn the crosshair placement from different angles that you're going to use in game, because you're not going to be in the same spot every single time in every game. And learning the crosshair placement at different angles is going to help a lot with your piece control. And the best part is that you can't get burned out from this, so you can do this as long as you want. And now I'm going to talk about important settings, the first one being edit on release. Now I use edit on release off, but I think that using edit on release is very much preference. But if you want to figure out which one to actually use, then you can look up any of your favorite pros and see what they use, and then maybe you can implement their playstyle into yours. And for newer players, I recommend that you use simple edit, but once you get good enough, turn it off. And the next important bind that you need to have figured out is your sprint bind. And basically I use left control, but you can also use left shift, left alt, or any number key, or any of the bottom row keys. And moving on to build binds, I recommend that you have two structures binded to your mouse buttons on the side, allowing for more optimal binds. To find a good sensitivity, then you need to stick to one for a week at least, and then see if it works. If it doesn't work for you, then you can change it. But I use 3.2 on 1600 DPI with 2000 Hz polling rate, and I don't really see a point in using building and editing sense, but if you want to use it, then go ahead. But I'm going to recommend that you don't touch it at all. For double movement, I have it off, but if you want to have it on, then feel free to use it. This is what I have as a setting when it's on, and I don't think many pros use it anymore because they have like rooting keyboards or they just don't like it. But yeah, anyways, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see next. And if you want to learn how to win more solo games in ranked, then check out this video right here.